For decades, you've been told that a nightcap helps you sleep. A glass of wine, maybe some brandy, or even that special sleepy time tea with honey. They promised it would relax you, ease your mind, and send you gently off to dreamland. What a comforting ritual after a long day, especially when your body feels a little stiffer and your thoughts seem to race more than they used to. But what if I told you that this common bedtime habit isn't just failing to help you sleep, it's actively destroying your sleep quality. And for those of us over 60, it's doing something even worse to our brains while we rest. In today's video, I'm going to reveal the truth about the bedtime ritual that's sabotaging your sleep, accelerating brain aging, and leaving you exhausted day after day. But I won't just tell you what to stop. I'll share the simple 15-minute bedtime routine that transformed Margaret's sleep at 72, helping her fall asleep in under 10 minutes and stay asleep all night long. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why traditional sleep advice has been failing you and what to do instead. The solution is simpler than you might think, costs nothing, and could give you back the refreshing sleep you enjoyed decades ago. Before we dive in, I'd love to know where you're watching from today. Drop a comment below with your location and whether you struggle with falling asleep, staying asleep, or both. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss our latest health insights, specifically designed for those of us in our golden years. Now let's talk about sleep after 60. What's really happening in your body, and why what worked at 40 simply doesn't work anymore. Martha had always been a good sleeper. Throughout her working years as a nurse, she could put her head on the pillow and drift off within minutes, even after stressful hospital shifts. But something changed after she turned 65. No matter how tired she felt, sleep became elusive. I'd lie in bed for hours watching the clock, feeling my heart race, and my mind refused to slow down, she told me. I'd finally drift off around 2 a.m., only to wake up at 4 staring at the ceiling again. Sound familiar? Martha isn't alone. In fact, about 70% of adults over 60 report some type of sleep problem. But here's what your doctor probably hasn't explained. Your sleep architecture, the very structure of your sleep, fundamentally changes as you age. When we're younger, our sleep follows a predictable pattern through multiple cycles of light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. Each stage serves a specific purpose in rejuvenating both body and mind. Deep sleep repairs your physical body, while REM sleep processes emotions and consolidates memories. But after 60, your brain produces less of the growth hormone that facilitates deep sleep. Your body makes less melatonin, the hormone that signals it's time to sleep. And your core body temperature, which needs to drop for sound sleep, doesn't decrease as efficiently as it once did. This doesn't mean good sleep is impossible. Far from it. It simply means the rules have changed, and what helped you sleep at 40 or 50 may now be your worst enemy. And that brings us to the bedtime habit that's sabotaging your sleep right now: alcohol before bed. That glass of wine or nightcap might seem to help you fall asleep faster, and it does, initially. Alcohol is a central nervous system depressant that can induce drowsiness. For generations, it's been the go-to sleep aid for millions. Perhaps your own parents kept a bottle of brandy by their bedside, or you've developed the habit of unwinding with a drink after dinner. But here's what happens after that initial drowsiness. Alcohol significantly disrupts your sleep cycle, especially during the second half of the night. Even though you might fall asleep quickly, the quality of that sleep is severely compromised. Let me walk you through what happens in your body when you have that seemingly innocent drink before bed. First, alcohol prevents you from reaching enough deep sleep, the most physically restorative phase. This is why you can sleep for 8 hours after drinking and still wake up feeling exhausted. Second, it causes your throat muscles to relax excessively, worsening snoring and sleep apnea, conditions already more common after 60. Third, alcohol is a diuretic, increasing your need to urinate during the night. Those multiple bathroom trips fragment your sleep even further. But for those over 60, there's an even more concerning effect. Alcohol before bed interferes with your brain's glymphatic system, the waste clearance pathway that removes toxins from your brain during deep sleep. This system works most efficiently during quality sleep, helping to clear away proteins like beta amyloid that are associated with cognitive decline and Alzheimer's disease. When alcohol disrupts this crucial cleaning process, those harmful proteins can accumulate faster. That's why even moderate alcohol consumption before bed can potentially accelerate brain aging over time. John, a retired accountant of 68, came to me frustrated after trying everything for his insomnia: prescription sleeping pills, melatonin supplements, and various bedtime teas. Nothing seemed to work long-term. "The only thing that knocks me out is a couple of whiskeys," he admitted. "But even then, I'm up at 3 a.m. wide awake." I asked John to try something different for just 1 week. Replace his evening whiskey with a specific bedtime routine I'll share with you shortly. He was skeptical but desperate enough to try. "Within 3 nights, I was sleeping better than I had in years," he told me later. "By the end of the week, I was sleeping through the night for the first time in a decade. I felt like I'd gotten 10 years of my life back." Now you might be thinking, "But I've only had a glass of wine with dinner for years. Surely that small amount can't be causing my sleep problems." Even small amounts of alcohol can disrupt sleep, especially as we age and our bodies metabolize alcohol more slowly. That single glass of wine with dinner at 6 p.m. could still be affecting your sleep at midnight. And it's not just alcohol that's sabotaging your sleep quality. There are other common bedtime habits that seem innocent but can significantly impact your sleep after 60. Watching the news before bed floods your brain with stress hormones, making it nearly impossible for your aging brain to wind down naturally. Those late-night scrolling sessions on your phone or tablet expose you to blue light, which suppresses melatonin production, already diminished with age, even further. Even that cup of herbal tea might be causing multiple bathroom trips throughout the night if consumed too close to bedtime. So what's the solution? What replaced alcohol in John's nightly routine and transformed his sleep? It wasn't a pill, an expensive gadget, or a complicated regimen. It was a simple 15-minute sequence that works with your body's natural sleep mechanisms rather than against them. A routine specifically designed for the over 60 brain and nervous system. Let me walk you through this transformative bedtime sequence now, step by step. First, about 90 minutes before your desired bedtime, dim all the lights in your home. This isn't just about creating a cozy atmosphere. It's a critical signal to your brain that night is approaching. Our ancestors lived by the rhythms of natural light, and our brains are still hardwired to respond to these cues. Low light triggers your pineal gland to begin releasing melatonin, that precious sleep hormone that becomes scarcer as we age. Using dimmer switches or simply turning off overhead lights and switching to lamps can make a significant difference. Then, 45 minutes before bed, prepare a small warm compress, simply a clean washcloth soaked in comfortably warm water, wrung out and folded. Place this compress on the back of your neck for 5 minutes while sitting comfortably in a chair. This might seem unusual, but there's fascinating science behind it. The back of your neck contains important blood vessels close to the surface of your skin. Gently warming this area helps regulate your body temperature, facilitating the natural drop in core temperature that signals your brain it's time to sleep. For older adults who often struggle with temperature regulation, this simple technique can be remarkably effective at preparing your body for sleep. After your warm compress, it's time for the most powerful part of the routine. Rhythmic breathing. Find a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down, and place one hand on your lower abdomen. Now breathe in slowly through your nose for a count of 4, feeling your belly rise against your hand. Hold that breath gently for a count of 2, then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6, feeling your belly flatten. The key is making your exhale longer than your inhale. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode that counteracts stress and anxiety. Continue this breathing pattern for 5 minutes, keeping your focus on the sensation of your breath. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breathing without judgment. This technique is particularly effective for the over 60 brain because it directly counters the heightened stress response that often comes with aging. It's like pressing a reset button on your nervous system. The final step happens in bed. Sequential relaxation. Lie on your back with your arms at your sides and begin by tensing and then relaxing each part of your body, starting with your feet and working upward. Curl your toes tightly for 5 seconds, then release completely and notice the difference between tension and relaxation. Move up to your calves, thighs, and so on, all the way to your facial muscles. This progressive technique not only releases physical tension you may not even realize you're carrying, but also occupies your mind with a structured activity that prevents racing thoughts. One of the most common complaints I hear from older adults struggling with sleep. Margaret, whom I mentioned earlier, found this sequence particularly transformative. At first, I thought it sounded too simple to work, she told me. But by the time I finished the sequential relaxation, I was asleep before I even realized it was happening. Now I rarely make it past my shoulders before drifting off. This routine works because it addresses the specific sleep challenges that emerge after 60, the need for stronger sleep signals to the brain, assistance with temperature regulation, calming an overactive stress response, and releasing accumulated physical tension. Unlike alcohol, which forces your brain into an unnatural state and disrupts your sleep cycles, this routine works with your body's innate mechanisms, enhancing rather than interfering with your natural sleep architecture. And unlike sleeping pills, which can cause dependency and often leave you feeling groggy the next day, this approach actually improves over time as your brain forms new associations with these sleep-promoting activities. Now, you might be wondering, what if I still can't fall asleep after doing this routine? This is important. If you're not asleep within 20 minutes, don't lie in bed watching the clock. This creates anxiety around sleep that only makes insomnia worse. Instead, get up, go to another room, and do something relaxing under dim light until you feel sleepy again. Reading a physical book, not an e-reader, listening to soft music or gentle stretching are all good options. Return to bed only when you feel sleepy and repeat the breathing and relaxation portions of the routine. This reinforces the association between your bed and actual sleep, not wakefulness and frustration. Robert, a 75-year-old retired professor, adopted this approach after decades of sleep struggles. "The first night, I had to get up twice and return to bed," he shared, "but I didn't let myself get frustrated. By the third night, I fell asleep quickly and stayed asleep for 6 straight hours, something I hadn't experienced in years." Beyond this core routine, there are additional factors that can enhance your sleep quality after 60. Timing matters more than you might think. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. This consistency helps strengthen your circadian rhythm, which naturally weakens with age. The temperature of your bedroom can significantly impact sleep quality. Our bodies sleep best in a cool environment, typically between 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. This is especially important for older adults, as age-related changes in thermoregulation can make us more sensitive to temperature disruptions. Consider your mattress and pillows. As our bodies change with age, so do our support needs. A mattress that served you well in your 50s might be contributing to discomfort and sleep disruption now. Many of my clients have found remarkable sleep improvements simply by updating their sleep surface to accommodate aging joints and spines. Sound plays a crucial role too. While complete silence works for some, others find that gentle background noise, like a fan or specialized white noise machine, helps mask disruptive sounds and signals the brain that it's safe to sleep deeply. And let's not forget the power of daytime habits in shaping nighttime sleep. Regular physical activity, even gentle walking, has been shown to significantly improve sleep quality for older adults. Morning sunlight exposure helps set your body clock and boost natural melatonin production later in the evening. And limiting caffeine after noon becomes increasingly important as our bodies metabolize it more slowly with age. But what about those nights when, despite your best efforts, sleep remains elusive? When health concerns, pain, or life stresses intrude on your rest? This is where mindset becomes powerful. Many of us develop anxiety around sleep itself, creating a vicious cycle where fear of not sleeping actually prevents sleep. I encourage my clients to practice what I call rest without expectation, allowing yourself to simply rest even when sleep doesn't come immediately. Elizabeth, 81, found this perspective shift liberating. "I used to get so angry when I couldn't sleep," she said. "Now I tell myself that rest itself is beneficial, even if it's not sleep. That takes the pressure off, and ironically, I usually drift off without realizing it." This approach is supported by research showing that quiet rest, even without sleep, provides many restorative benefits. By removing the performance pressure around sleep, you create space for your natural sleep mechanisms to function more effectively. Now let's address a question many of you are probably asking. What if I've been using alcohol to sleep for years? How do I transition away from it? If you've been regularly using alcohol as a sleep aid, stopping abruptly might temporarily worsen your sleep as your body adjusts. Instead, consider a gradual approach. Start by reducing your bedtime drink by half while implementing the new routine I've shared. After a few days, reduce it further while extending your relaxation routine. Within a week or two, most people can eliminate the alcohol completely without sleep disruption. Remember that the goal isn't deprivation, but replacement. Substituting a harmful sleep aid with a genuinely beneficial routine that will serve you better in the long run. David, a 70-year-old who had relied on 2 glasses of wine every night for over a decade, took this gradual approach. "The first few nights were challenging," he admitted. "But by focusing on the new routine rather than what I was giving up, I made it through. Now my sleep is deeper and more refreshing than it has been since my 50s. Another common concern is nighttime waking, a pattern that becomes more frequent as we age. While the routine I've shared can help you fall asleep initially, what about those 3 a.m. awakenings that leave you staring at the ceiling? For these middle-of-the-night episodes, keep a small, dim light by your bedside and repeat the breathing pattern I described earlier. Often, this alone can ease you back to sleep without fully waking your brain. If you do need to get up, perhaps to use the bathroom, keep all lights dim and avoid checking the time, which can trigger anxiety about how much sleep time remains. For persistent sleep challenges, especially those that might have a medical component like sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, or pain conditions, working with a healthcare provider remains important. The routine I've shared can complement medical treatments, often enhancing their effectiveness. What about natural supplements for sleep? While melatonin gets most of the attention, its effectiveness can be limited for adults over 60. Some find more benefit from magnesium glycinate, which supports muscle relaxation and nervous system function, or from adaptogenic herbs like ashwagandha that help moderate stress responses. As always, check with your healthcare provider before adding any supplement to your regimen. Let me share one more success story that illustrates the life-changing potential of better sleep for those in their golden years. Helen was 84 when I met her, widowed for 3 years, and struggling with both sleep and a pervasive sense of sadness. She'd been taking prescription sleep aids that left her groggy and disconnected during the day. "I'm just waiting out my time," she told me during our first conversation. "The days are long, and the nights are longer." And I suggested she try the routine I've shared with you today, along with joining a morning Tai Chi class at her local community center. The combination of better sleep and gentle morning movement in the company of others proved transformative. 6 weeks later, Helen's entire outlook had shifted. "I feel present in my life again," she said, eyes bright. "I'm sleeping through the night without medication for the first time in years, and I'm actually looking forward to my days now." This is the power of reclaiming your sleep. It doesn't just add hours of rest, it can return vitality to your waking hours as well. So tonight, I invite you to try something different. Instead of reaching for that glass of wine or nightcap, give this 15-minute routine a chance. Dim your lights early, try the warm neck compress, practice the 4-2-6 breathing pattern, and use sequential relaxation as you drift off. You might be surprised by how quickly your body responds to these simple but powerful cues, signals that work in harmony with your physiology rather than against it. Remember, quality sleep isn't a luxury or something you've simply lost access to with age. It's your birthright at every stage of life, and with the right approach, you can experience the deep, refreshing sleep your body and brain need to thrive. If you found this information helpful, please hit the like button and share this video with someone who might benefit. Your engagement helps our community grow and allows us to reach more people who deserve better sleep and better health. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest videos on thriving in your golden years. And drop a comment below letting me know which part of the sleep routine you're most excited to try. I read every comment and love hearing about your experiences. Sleep well tonight, friends. Not because of what you've put into your body, but because of how beautifully you've prepared your body for the rest it deserves. Sweet dreams, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll explore another vital aspect of vibrant aging that most doctors never mention. Until then, remember that your best years aren't behind you. They're unfolding right now, one restful night at a time.